Hey, what's up guys? How are you all doing? Back with another video. I can probably understand your confusion to this title. The past few videos we have certainly jumped around a lot, haven't we? Everything from Star Wars to the Pig War, the Battle of Cannae with Hannibal, all the way to the Texas border crisis. I know you're thinking, what is going on? And so basically what it is, I've been busy this past few weeks with work and that, and I haven't had a chance to properly have a look at what's going on here. And as you know, I've got previous videos talking about American politics, so it's always something that's interested me. So I thought if I'm going to dive into it and just have a little look what's happening and get the details of it, I may as well do it on YouTube with you guys, because if you don't know, a lot of my subscribers are American, so it'd be good to have a good old conversation about it, because this is something that's right up my alley. Good topic about immigration, proper good shit that is. But also, just aside from that, obviously the Super Bowl's on Sunday. I believe it's Sunday, 11:30 p.m. for us. I'm sure it's earlier on in the day for you guys, obviously. But me and my mates were talking about putting some money on it, but none of us know enough about the Super Bowl. So if you've got a tip or like a good bet or an acca, let me know in the comments what I should be looking at on at the Super Bowl, man, because me and my mates are going to get together and watch it and try and figure out what we're on about. But before we talk more about that, let's get into this. So as far as what I know, is Texas has took matters into its own hands. I think the governor is Abbott, and I think the original conversation was about razor wire. This is just little bits I've seen on TikTok and social media. It was about putting up razor wire, and then didn't the truckers get involved and start making like a man-made border, and then Biden said you've got to stop it, and he was like denied it, and now a bunch of states has come in and backed him. I think it was it 25 states have said no, we stand with Texas. So I just want to get into this and have a little look what's happening, and anything you guys want to tell me, man, let me know in the comments. But let's get straight into it.
Just Governor Greg Abbott. Governor, first I applaud your efforts. You've been on this show many times. You've tried convoys. You have done everything humanly possible. So your state, with its constitutional right, has put up the razor wire. They take you to court on that. And now they set up a confrontation between your National Guard and federal border troops. Now, I don't think either side of that equation wants to be enemies. They're all on the same side, aren't they?
They are, and as you pointed out, and as Border Patrol Council and Border do with regard to tearing down that razor wire or tearing down the barriers that Texas has erected for one simple reason, and that's because they are working. Border Patrol says that what Texas has done to secure the border actually makes their job even easier. The only resistance we're facing is coming from Joe Biden. Know this, Sean, and that is Joe Biden is in.
So the whole thing that this is even an issue is insane for me. I won't keep pausing it, but this is just absolutely insane that a country securing its border is an issue. I don't understand. Well, I know people will argue, they're letting in migrants to create a new voting bloc, because the way it appears to be that people that pour into the US tend to vote Democrat, and that's why the Democrats are more obliged to let that happen so they can remain in power for as long as possible. Obviously, Joe Biden had the two houses, and I think it was for 2 years, 2020 and 2022, and did nothing to resolve the border crisis. It's just insane to me that regular Americans are being put out. And don't get me wrong, guys, this is happening all over the Western world, in my opinion. Obviously not with Mexicans for us, but it just seems to be a Western issue at the moment.
Violation of federal law that already exists. For one, he is not living up to his duty to deny illegal entry across the border. Instead, he's aiding that illegal entry. The second thing is he's not, once people do cross the border, he is not detaining them as he's required by law. Instead, he's giving mass parole across the country. Because Joe Biden is not enforcing the federal immigration laws, that gives Texas the right, under that Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution, to defend ourselves from imminent harm or from an invasion. So Texas has every constitutional right in this case, and I believe when the sun sets on this, Texas will be vindicated and the Constitution will be strengthened.
Yeah, you know, we have relevant U.S. laws. Joe Biden has been aiding and abetting in the law breaking. Joe Biden, I'd even go further. He is violating the laws of this country. He is violating his oath to uphold our Constitution. I could put up on the screen all, Title 8 USC 1324. You know, it prohibits alien smuggling.
So I've just realised an issue that I'm going to have with this video is there's probably going to be some people in the comments that are going to say you've gone to Fox News to get your news and they're more aligned to the Republicans. I understand that completely. And if you want to see me do another news outlet, then that's fine. But I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to put my flag in the ground and say that I kind of tend to go to Fox News when it's anything American. Maybe that's because of my political allegiance. I don't really know. As far as mainstream media, I don't really know who to trust when it comes to America. In Britain, I don't trust any of them. But they seem to be, from my opinion, the most trustworthy with a grain of salt. So that's why I've picked Fox, if anyone's wondering.
Domestic transportation, you know, it goes into, you know, every harboring illegal immigrants, encouraging or inducing, conspiracy, aiding and abetting. If I did any one of the things that Joe Biden has now institutionalized, I would be in jail, and I doubt that the best lawyers in America could get me off the hook.
Well, fair point, but also you're making another profound point. You listed all those different ways that the Biden administration has these duties and responsibilities. Because they're not just doing that job poorly, but because they have totally abandoned doing that job whatsoever. That is exactly what gives Texas our constitutional right for Texas to be able to act. So by Texas building the barriers that we have, by us taking the action to repel illegal immigration,
they're enforcing the Constitution.
Because the federal government has ceded or conceded the field of immigration enforcement, and Texas has picked up that duty, and we're the ones in self-enforcement. And let me tell you this amazing number.
So I didn't know that Texas were within its constitutional rights to do what they're doing. I mean, I had suspected they had, grounds for it, don't get me wrong. But I didn't know that's the way it worked. That's going to make things so much more complicated. I don't know how this is going to play out. I've seen people going as far as to say that Texas will form its own country, which it obviously won't. But this is going to make it. I don't know how this ends. If Biden comes to and was like, okay, we'll take immigration more seriously, for a start, they're not going to accept that because they're just words. They're going to want to see policy implemented. They're going to want to see funds attributed to what he's saying. And if Biden doesn't come forward and say that, do we just remain at the current situation where Texas can rule itself when it comes to immigration? And then where does the line draw on that? Can New Mexico, Albuquerque, and other bordering states do that? Who knows?
For Sean, if you know where that park is, where Texas now has taken over and we've blockaded...
I've just realised Albuquerque is the capital of New Mexico. I don't know why I said that like it was a state. My bad.
That park, that is an area where sometimes over the past year, there would be as many as 2 or 3 or more than that 1,000 people coming across the border a day. Yesterday, there were just 6 people crossing the border. All 6 of those people were arrested by Texas law enforcement officers. We have now cracked down and been able to staunch the flow of illegal immigration. Biden should want this replicated across the entire border. That's what Texas is trying to do as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say one good thing. Your fellow Republican governors have been pretty amazing. They've all come to your defense, every one of them. And they're offering guard troops. They are offering razor wire. They're offering all the help. They understand that you have your barrier.
It's good to see that level of cooperation throughout that. I imagine that if you was an American Republic voting citizen and you saw that level of support from other Republican states, you would feel a sense of union and a sense of brotherhood. But again, you do venture into the area of setting a trend of, if we don't like something that the government does and there's enough states that can back it, we can just all do what we want, which is not a trend that you want to get rolling. So we do understand the flip side to that. But I think on this issue, I think this issue should be universal. I think this is like, countries protect their borders, and I've seen a lot of people refer to the illegal immigrants as migrants. They're not migrants. That's different entirely. They're illegal immigrants. That's a migrant is someone that's legal. Do you know what I mean? As far as from the Mexican point of view, I get it. I've always said this. The immigration that we have over here, I get it. If I grew up in I'm not saying Mexico's a third world country, but if I grew up in a war-torn third world country with family and kids, I would want to come to the West. That's not the problem that I have. I understand that. And I'm sure everyone that's on my side of the fence understands that completely. But unfortunately, that's not how you run a country. You can't give handouts. That's not how it works. There has to be a legal process. There has to be scanning. You can't just let every Tom, Dick and Harry in here. Do you know what I mean? It's certainly a moral issue that's it's really gonna cause some conversation.
Of this, but they also understand that their states are also impacted by Joe Biden's open borders, and these people are unvetted, as I keep pointing out, and now Joe Biden's being encouraged to federalize your National Guard, your state guard. What happens if he tries that? He doesn't have a deadline of Friday. He hasn't done anything as usual, but what if that happens?
If he tries to do that, well, first of all, as you know, this is the #1 issue in America. Americans want a secure border. If Joe Biden federalizes our National Guard, that would be the biggest political blunder that he could make. And that's why I think he will not do it. That said, of course, I am prepared in the event that they do make such a blunder to make sure that Texas will be able to continue to secure our border.
I don't.
So you're going to have to educate me on this. So if Joe Biden federalizes the National Guard, that means they don't fall under the Texas jurisdiction, they fall under the US government jurisdiction. So then them troops take orders from Washington DC or the FBI. Yeah. Is that how that works? You're going to have to let me know about that.
I'm not even going to ask you what your plan is because I don't want you to telegraph it to them. But the fact that you have a president that has been aiding and abetting we're now getting close to 10 million Joe Biden unvetted illegal immigrants in this country.
10 million.
I can't think of a bigger danger. You've heard from these former retired FBI, people in the upper echelon of the FBI warning that this is an invasion, warning that a lot of these people are, men that are of age that they could wage war on the country. What are the odds that from these countries that they're coming from that they have radical associations and are setting up, sleeper cells here in America? I would say the odds are 100% myself.
These are just Mexicans round about. What's the other, like, sleeper cells from Mexico? What's he alluding to there? But it's funny because the same language that this guy's using is the same language that we use here. As in, all the migrants, we have a lot of migration from, how do I say this? Like the Middle East, a lot of Pakistani migrants, Syria, Afghan, Jordan, all them type of places. No screening, and it's always the same language they use, middle-aged fighting males is what they refer to them as, which is true. As much as I don't really agree with mainstream, that is true. That you never see like women and children coming over from Calais, northern part of France, when they come across on the boats. You never see women and children. It's always like males my age, anywhere between 18 and 30. They're not fleeing war-torn countries. They're just coming here because it's an easy handout, and you can draw it up whichever way you like. That's the truth. You can't tell me that they're fleeing war-torn countries because they're simply not. And also, I'm just speaking about the UK issue here. If you come from Asia, you have to, we're the furthest pretty much. So you have to come through, 50 15, 16, 17 countries before you reach the UK. So what was the motivation? It's because our government just hands them out and here's a house, here's a load of money, blah, blah. I'm sounding so extreme here, but when you guys will know, especially if you live in Texas, when you grow up around it and you see less and less of, I'm going to say less and less people that look like you do start to feel a bit alienated in your own area. Things that are common in your culture aren't as common anymore, and the language that's used day to day changes. And over time, you can't have people tell you, oh, well, statistics show this. It doesn't matter because you've seen it. Do you know what I mean? That's your reality. I went off on a bit of a tangent then, but you'll understand what I'm on about if you've grew up in that sort of environment.
I hope I'm wrong.
Well, so Sean, what you just said taps into the verb, the words in Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3, where it talks about imminent danger. We are in imminent danger because, as you rightfully point out, these are facts. And that is, there are people who are known terrorists who are coming across the border that pose an imminent danger, whether it be in Texas or some other state. Because Biden is not doing his job, that fully authorizes the state of Texas to protect our state and our country from that.
Look at this picture here. This is what I mean. Is that a woman? That may be a woman there. But these are women and children. These are every single one of them, but probably maybe it's just a really feminine dude. I'm not sure. But these are all men. And look. That's alarming. That is, you cannot look at that image and tell me that's nothing to worry about. You can tell they're already in America here. This is definitely American infrastructure. But that is an alarming. If you saw that and said this is coming to a town near you, you'd be horrified. You heard about that. You might not have heard about that town in Italy. I'm going to get the numbers wrong here, by the way. There was like 2,000 Italian citizens in their village, and they imported 3,000 migrants, which is insane. So it instantly become a migrant town. Stuff like that is, as a man with a family that you're meant to protect, what are you meant to do here? It's insane.
That imminent danger.
Yeah. Governor, I applaud what you're doing. It's unfair that Texas has to go through this. I am glad that your fellow Republican governors have all stepped up and they're offering you assistance in any way they can. That speaks volumes about them. I hope the United States
Sean,
Senate
if
Republicans.
I could, let me just say, say thank you to my fellow governors. Half of America now is standing against the Biden administration. Also, more than a majority of all the attorneys general across the country. Biden is not taking on Texas. Biden is taking on the United States of America.
Well said. And you know what? There should be consequences when a president picks and chooses the laws that he's going to enforce, and he doesn't get to break the law just because he doesn't like the law. You've done a great job, Governor, under very difficult circumstances, and everybody's pulling for you down there. Hang in there. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click.
All right, don't go just yet. I've got some questions for you guys now. How does this affect this year's election coming up? Is this just edging things more towards Trump? If you guys do vote Trump, I understand there's some very good Republican candidates. Again, I need to have a proper sit down and have a look at them. How does that affect the election? What is the ideal scenario for you, whether you're Republican, Democrat, whether you live in Texas or Minnesota? What is the best ideal situation? And I don't mean something like Joe Biden gets kicked out of office, because I just don't see that happening. So a realistic outcome. Sitting here watching this is a massive moment in history that I think is being downplayed somewhat by various news outlets. This is front page stuff. I would not only say in America, but it should be in Britain as well. This is massive for a country to turn on its government, a state to turn on its government and say, no, you have failed to do a job here, and we're going to pick up the baton on that and secure our own border. That's massive. It's not something that we're able to do over here. Obviously, we literally have the local councils, which have relatively no power at all, and then just straight to the government. So the British people are disenfranchised with our government, I think, whatever side of the table you fall on. As an American, I'd be so reassured as a Texas citizen seeing this. It would certainly bring on a fire of patriotism within myself, and I can imagine it has done for you guys, to show someone actually cares, someone in a suit and tie up there cares. That's got to be so reassuring, because you get very little evidence of that on a day-to-day basis. Obviously it's hard to talk about American issues because I'm constantly seeing what that would look like for us, and obviously it's a different norm for you guys. But I'm very interested to hear everyone's takes on it, and if there's any more information that I should know, then definitely let me know. But yeah, very interesting. Also, another thing that I want to talk about, completely off subject, but me and my girlfriend, you know Becca, Beck's always on the channel, we've been watching the Netflix documentary on the Swamp, Florida college football. I think it's the 07 season where they won the championship. Oh my God, has it reignited my love for NFL? I know we were talking about the Super Bowl earlier, but Jesus Christ, what a series. I've seen another series on there about Patrick Mahomes, I think, so I'm going to watch that as well. If you guys have any NFL clips you want me to check out, then definitely let me know. That's something I really want to start doing again, because I did not realise how big college football was in America, especially in the South. I know it's so off topic from this, but I saw that the Swamp has 110,000 seats. That is insane. I think the Nou Camp, Barcelona, who's got the biggest football stadium in Europe, I'm pretty sure, I think they're about 105,000, possibly 110. So the fact that your college football stadiums have that just blew my mind, man. But who's the quarterback? Tebow. Yeah, that series, if you haven't seen it, man, check it out. I can imagine if you're like a Tennessee fan, you wouldn't want to watch that, or if you're not a big fan of the Gators. I get that entirely, but you know, when you watch it, because I've got no allegiance to college football, me and Becca have been walking around the house doing the Gator clap and everything. But yeah, man, if you any NFL clips you want me to check out too, let me know. It's good seeing you guys again. You know, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. There's going to be a lot more of me just doing my own thing on the channel, because me and Beck trying to line up our days off, it's just not good for the channel. We end up putting out 3 videos a month, and it's just not good. So there'll be a lot more of me just reacting to this, like the old days, I guess, when I used to put out 3 videos a day. But yeah, it's good seeing everyone. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Take it easy.